What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my final Stock Watch Sunday of 2018. And boy, has 2018 been so good to Own the Chaos, which is the channel that you're watching now, if you haven't figured that out, and to WeTrade HQ. If you're not familiar with what WeTrade HQ is, it is a free community that me and my partner Jake have built, and we have over 2,500 members worldwide already a part of it. We've only been in business for about 6 months, but it has been an amazing journey so far. We have built partnerships with other mentors. We have so much going for us in 2019 that we already have set up, and I can't wait to reveal to you what we've been up to. It's been awesome. It's like one of those things where you have like this gift that you want to give somebody, and you're so excited for them to open it. You want them to just open it right now, but I have to be patient and wait for the time until the time is right to let you know. But I'm telling you, you're going to be super excited for it, as those of us who are working so hard behind the scenes at WeTrade HQ are already. So welcome, guys. Thank you again so much for your love and your support. We could not have done this without you, and it's only up from here. So thanks again. So just wanted to let you know, as per the usual, we do have stocks we're going to be watching going into 2019. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve. There will be a full day of trading to be had. I know lots of folks were asking if there was going to be a half a day considering it's New Year's Eve. The answer is no. It's going to be a full day of trading. It is the last day of the year. Nobody wants to cut their day short, so to speak. So if you want to step up your game in the trading world, I encourage you to check out some of our mentorships and courses that we do have available at WeTrade HQ. If you are not keen on trading over-the-counter stocks, as I am, that's okay. We have folks that trade other stuff as well: options, forex, cryptocurrencies, big board stocks, you name it. WeTrade HQ is the place for you. I highly encourage you to check it out. Again, it's free, and the links are in the description below. So without further ado, I do have 3 stocks that I will be watching this week. I'm not optimistic that it's going to be crazy busy. It probably will start picking back up after the new year. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, hopefully volume will start to return to the market. It's been kind of slow as per the usual between Christmas and New Year's. We'll see how it goes, but I'm watching CAVR, GHHC, and of course INKW. Some new developments have arisen since over the weekend, and I just kind of wanted to touch on that real quick. And so, yeah, as always, if you guys want to share, any insights, any tickers that you want me to take a look at potentially to see if maybe there's some value to be had there, I'll certainly be able to take a look at that for you at the end of this video. So please feel free to comment. Also, I was wondering to know, I didn't see too many comments on my Follow Up Friday video, but I wanted to see what were your guys' biggest wins, maybe your biggest learning experiences over 2018, and what are you looking forward to 2019? So we can take a look at that as well towards the end of the video. So just want to welcome some folks here. Bob, Alan, Al, Planko Stock. I haven't seen that one before, so welcome. Yep. How's it going, Seahawks? Yeah, Seahawks, man, they're going to be a team to beat in the NFC, I think. So my Ravens, pulled it out in a nail biter. It got my heart going. That's for sure. I was afraid that there was going to be a repeat of last season. It was rough. Tammy, what's going on? She said she appreciate my opinion on AGTK. I can certainly take a look at that towards the end of the video. Absolutely. Papa Wolfek, Chase, Eunice, Quinn, Taroma, what's going on, guys? We'll go ahead and Tuscaloosa. Nice. Yeah, Alabama had a great weekend as well. Man, that program is just amazing. Get Money 2019 for sure. All right, so let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and share my screen here with you. Now, again, if you're not familiar with what WeTrade HQ is, it is a great platform for you to learn, socialize, and grow, and just be a part of a great community of other like-minded individuals. We're always celebrating each other's success. It doesn't matter if it's big or small. We are just, I don't know, we're really just rooting for everybody. We don't have egos to compete with. We're not going to force you or bully you into trades or, whatever else. There's always that connotation where, especially in the OTC, where people are like, oh, well, the stock is dropping, and you got like these major influencers that like to, make you feel inferior if you decide to either cut your losses or maybe take profits. We're not about that. We're all about, if you're making wins and you're seeing progress, that's what we, like to celebrate. So it doesn't matter how big or small. We have people that make hundreds of dollars a trade. We have people that make tens of thousands of dollars per trade, even six-figure trades within the WeTrade HQ community. It's an amazing place to be, guys. If you're not here, then you are missing out. So without further ado, I do have CAVR pulled up here. This is my first one that I was taking a look at. I'm not 100% confident in this. I have not yet taken a position on it, but there are some things in here that I am curious about, and I want to see if I can make an entry on this, potentially as represented by this green line in a 0042 range. If it starts to pull back there, I may take a starter position and see how it develops. There is some due diligence to go on here. If you go to otcmarkets.com and you look up security details, share structure is not bad at all. If you look at their recent Twitter account, now this is not something that I put a whole lot of confidence in, is anything from a CEO or Twitter account there, in general, but he's been regularly communicating with his investors. There seems to be a lot of folks that are confident, and that obviously this isn't a fake Twitter account or something like that. It's, there's just a lot going on with CAVR and, how the CEO communicates with his investors. They have a new path for their company they just announced on Friday. They launched a new website on Friday as well. And I have that pulled up. Said this is beginning of building a new team and direction, years of updates and hotties, blah, 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 blah. So went and looked at their website, and obviously you can see a big old pot leaf there. That is going to be the flavor of 2019. We saw it leading into the end of 2018. Weed, pot, hemp, all that stuff related to the farm bill that was signed this month is going to translate down into the smaller companies that are looking to get into the weed industry. Guys, it's going to be billions of dollars are going to be in this industry, and everybody wants to get in on the action. So it's going to be interesting to see which ones kind of move above the rest. And, I'm not saying that CAVR will, but we're just going to play the hype at this point and see where it goes. I'm not saying that there's going to be some major move, but I really want to see where this goes. It looks like RSI is starting to cool off on the daily. I really, again, would like to get in at that 0042, maybe 0040 starter position, and just kind of see if I see potential in this to build on top of that. So there's CAVR. Again, lots of eyeballs, lots of volume coming in here. And we'll see where that one goes. The next one is, as always, my personal favorite is INKW. Guys, I see so much potential in INKW. They're coming up with positive catalysts regularly. They're doing stuff such as reducing their share structure because it was quite large. It wasn't even really that large, honestly, but they're shrinking that down. And what that does is that it allows for more volatility. And, it's a double-edged sword, right? So, the tighter the share structure, that means the quicker it could potentially drop. But it also means that it's the quicker that it could potentially go up. And for me, after looking at all of the due diligence that I've put together for you guys over the last several weeks, which has been a lot, so I'm not going to go over all of it today, but they put up something interesting on OTC Markets under their company profile. If you can't read this, I'll read this off to you real quick. They basically updated it saying that Green Concepts is an Inc. technology manufacturing distribution company headquartered in Fresno, California. It's transitioning into the beverage and bottling business. At present, we manufacture and distribute a high line of quality consumer-focused inkjet and toner refill kits. This is the big deal for me. On December 28, 2018, the company entered into a definitive agreement to purchase a bottling beverage facility, including land and equipment. Now, this is the first time that I've heard of a definitive agreement. Last we heard, there was the LOI taking place. They had money that was in escrow to purchase this and to acquire this bottling facility. But we have not yet heard whether or not that it's been completely taken over, that the acquisition is complete. We'll see where this goes. INKW announced that this bottling facility is capable of producing 3 million bottles of beverages per week, which is an insane amount. It must be quite the facility to be able to do that. Curious to see where INKW goes from here. And I think it's going to be quite a big mover in 2019. There's been a lot going on with this. They've gotten reinstated. They put all their filings out. They got current. They're putting out catalysts. They're shrinking their share structure. I think this is just going to be the makings of a perfect storm. With the RSI cooling down here, getting down into the mid twos, I think it's a perfect place to try and either add to your position, maybe look for some sort of entry, but it won't be long before a significant catalyst, in my opinion, appears based off of everything else that's been going on. And once that happens, shares are going to dry up. This thing's going to go through the roof. And again, I'm not guaranteeing that that will happen, that there will be the significant catalyst, but the potential is certainly there for this to happen. There's stocks out there such as, you take a look at anything on the NASDAQ, NBEV, it's probably one big one that went from sub-penny to, it's at $7. And that is a, CBD or even just a beverage company. So there's a lot of money to be had here, potentially for INKW. If this is the direction they're going in, I think there's a lot of potential for them in 2019. Should be exciting to watch that go. This is kind of my dark horse. The next one here is going to be GHHC. I solely got into this because of the unusual volume that arose on Friday. And again, when I look at stuff, I have a scanner that's called Equity Feed, if you're not familiar with that. Let me just check in with some folks here real quick, just to make sure we're good. Okay, so I use Equity Feed. I have scanners that, show me stocks that pop up on unusual volume, and then I go and do work. I go and try to figure out why that particular stock is popping up on unusual volume, and so then I'll do some digging. Lots of times I'll just take a starter position if I like the share structure and to see where it's going. Looking at the share structure here, it looks like it's right around 12 million in the float, which is fantastic. Really wouldn't take much to get this going. So I saw that unusual volume coming in over the last day or so, but really and particularly on Friday. If there's a catalyst that's coming up out on GHHC, really wouldn't take this much to get going. If you look at this historically, I mean, it's had highs of 40 cents. I'm not saying that's going to get to that point, but it certainly has the potential to run if there's any kind of significant catalyst that comes here. And again, this is my dark horse. I don't have much to go off of as of yet, but based off of the chart, based off of the share structure here and the unusual volume that's coming on Friday, sometimes that can mean that there's going to be a catalyst that will be following up. And we'll take a closer look at this as the week goes on to see if anything develops with GHHC and if I'm going to continue to add to my position. Right now, like I said, I only have a starter. I haven't put all my eggs in here yet, but we'll see where this goes. All right, so there you have it. I pulled up all of my stocks that I'm watching here on WeTrade HQ, did all of my due diligence, if you will, and just to share with you guys the power that WeTrade HQ has, along with the community of users that we have. You can bounce ideas, you can ask questions, anything that you're looking for. WeTrade HQ wants to be the place for you to be able to learn and grow and develop and as a trader, whatever your goals are, involving the stock market and cryptocurrency. So let's go ahead and take a look, see what people are talking about. I know that Tammy was talking about AGTK. We can take a look at that for sure. Just want to follow up with, see if there's anybody else. Bill just said, just join your mentorship today. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I think you're going to love it. Happy New Year to you too as well. MSPC. So MSPC, guys, it's got 6 billion float. The thing's not moving. I've had several people ask me about MSPC. MSPC was my biggest trade ever in 2018, and it had less than a third of the float that it has now, and it only got up to 0029. So people who think that it's going to go above that with 6 billion float, they are out of their mind. I mean, unless somehow they get dried up from somewhere, and there's no way that they're going to be able to get that share structure cleaned up unless they do a reverse split, which isn't going to help you any. I can't for the life of me think they're going to be buying back that many shares to make a significant impact on MSPC. And it's just, I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I mean, it took it took several weeks to get it to 0029, and then it came crashing down on everybody. So I feel as if MSPC is not going to go anywhere. It went from 0001 to 0006. I really don't think it's going to get to double zeros. If it does, I'll be completely floored and shocked, and I'll admit fault. But like I just don't see it at this point. DTC chill. So the CEO talked about the DTC chill on CAVR. It looks like they're working to get that off. We'll see if that happens. It's usually a pretty significant impact on that stock if that DTC chill does end up coming off historically, just based off of other stocks in general. So we'll see what happens with CAVR. Again, I think there's good potential there. There's just got to be more that plays out for me to be, really confident in that. BLSP looking good for the upside now. Resistance at 0009. Let's see if it breaks out. We'll see. It's kind of a thick one too. Really, guys, the 000s have not been moving all that much here recently because there hasn't been enough volume in the market overall. When it comes to the OTC, we just haven't seen the dollar volume we're used to seeing in years past. Really, the last half of this year dried up in the OTC market. Really, the stock market in general. Obviously, it's been a little rocky, just on the major exchanges, and it seemed to have kind of trickled down a little bit in the OTC. Not saying that there's not money to be made down here, but the overall dollar volume that usually is traded in the OTC, especially this time of year, it's just not there. So having said that, when you're dealing with 000 stocks that have large share structures, it's going to be even harder for them to move something like that unless you have a ton of money coming in. And really, it's just not there in general. So for me personally, I'm trying to stay away from those 000 stocks unless there's something really significant that makes me want to, to dive right in on it. And the share structure has to be, relatively small for me to want to really kind of take a chance on it. So BLSP, sure, there could be some potential there. It's just going to take a lot of work to get it there, though, in my opinion. Always an OG. Hey, Daniel Spear, looking for good things in 2019. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate your support all this time. Certainly appreciate that. TSOI, decent share structure. We can take a look at that as well. Just subscribe to Equity Feed with the microcap bundle. What time do you wake up to start scanning the market? So I'm usually up around 6:30 in the morning, and there's some news that comes out, but really the news really starts to get going. I would say probably around, and I'm on Eastern time, by the way, but probably around, I would say it's like 7:30 to 9 o'clock is like peak time for news that gets released on Equity Feed through the OTC. And that's really kind of when people start waking up and kind of just seeing what's going on. So I'll get to these stocks here. So I'll start with Tammy. Tammy, I hope you're still with me here. You were asking about AGTK. We'll take a look at that. Let me share my screen with you. Hold on one sec. All right, AGTK. So just simply type it in the search bar on WeTrade HQ. It'll pull up here for me momentarily. I got a bunch of windows open, so it's going to take a little bit, but there we go. Just looking at the chart here, I can pull up Bollinger Bands. That's kind of like one of the indicators, one of my go-to indicators. The other one's going to be RSI, just to kind of give me a little snapshot of what's going on with it so far. And we'll see how it's going. So RSI is kind of hanging right around the middle. Bollinger Bands really kind of spread out here on the daily chart. If we're looking at it from an hourly perspective, it's kind of around the same thing. Not much to speak of, really, as far as that's concerned. If we look at it from a fundamental standpoint, AGTK. Now, again, it's not, I don't have, I haven't done a ton on this, but if looking at the share structure, it looks pretty decent for the price point that it's at right now. Right now it's trading at 0041 is what it closed at. There's a significant increase towards later in the day on Friday. Certainly interesting to see that unusual volume come in. If we go back to the daily chart, it was after its downtrend, it had like a nice little run back up on Friday. I don't know I mean, it really looked like it kind of bounced off of this support right at 0032 and just bounced right off of that after several red days. We'll see where AGT goes. I think it certainly has potential. You know, if I'm looking at it from a fundamental standpoint, like I said, share structure looks decent. Looking at recent news, looks like, you know, they're getting into CBD oil. You know, and then they're in the right place. Colorado, Puerto Rico. News just came out on that on Friday. So that explains why it started to run up a little bit. Here's the thing you got to worry about news, though. When a catalyst comes out, it usually is typically too late to get into at that point. But, again, having said that, there could be a continuation depending on when this actually got released on Friday. If we'll go back and look at the hourly chart, it looks as if news got released probably somewhere, like, I guess, right before the open or right at the open on Friday. And there was some reaction. Obviously, it went up 41%. We'll see if this has a continuation. But again, like I said, after news gets released on something like this, more times than not, it's too late, and you kind of missed the boat. I always like to chalk this up to missed opportunities. So AGTK, could it have potential to continue on Monday? Sure. Do I think it is? It's kind of up in the air for me. You're almost kind of like a 50-50 shot here as to whether or not it's going to continue. Only because it's right here at the upper bands on the Bollinger Bands, and it's really kind of hanging out in the middle of the RSI. I just don't know if it's going to sustain here or not. Let me see here. I know there was another one somebody wanted me to take a look at. I'll certainly do that for you. Oh, perfect, Tammy. Long term. Okay. Yeah, well, if there's long-term potential, especially with the CBD stuff that's going on, I think that, there's definitely value to be had. And if you got anywhere around this these high 002 range or even low 003, I think you're in good shape. Looked like it really kind of bottomed out there based off of the chart here. TSOI, let's take a look at that. TSOI. Therapeutic Solutions. DVLP, I don't think it is going anywhere, to be honest with you. Therapeutic Solutions, TSOI, I don't know. It doesn't look like there's much volume to be had. I see some liquidity issues here based off of the chart just first glance. Probably for me personally, it would be something that I would stay away from, but it doesn't necessarily mean that there's no value to be had. It's just something that I don't like to mess with. I don't usually care for these illiquid type of stocks. Going back to the hourly chart, yeah, it just doesn't look like there's much movement going on here. The RSI is already pretty high on low volume, and it's already hanging out above the Bollinger Bands. This is probably something that I'm not hanging around in or even looking at to make some sort of entry. It's already too high in my opinion. My strategy is typically what you would call a bottom feeder type of strategy. At this point, it's already going to be too high of a position for me to get into. Just based off of these indicators, it looks like it's already getting into overbought territory. So for me personally, probably going to stay away from that. Not going to tell you that there isn't, value to be had or that you can't make money off of it in particular. But look at this. It's already gone up 50% on Friday on low volume. So definitely something scary going on here from a liquidity standpoint. And again, trading above the Bollinger Bands, heading up towards that 70 range on the RSI is probably going to be a no for me, dog. So there you go. All right. So that was good. That was a good final Stock Watch Sunday for 2018. Guys, thank you so much again for all of your support. If you're new to this channel, please, and you saw value in here and you want to know what we're all about, subscribe to this channel, give it a thumbs up, and go to WeTradeHQ.com. Again, the links are in the description below. I just can't believe that this is where I would be. If you asked me 2 years ago if I would be running my own YouTube channel, have a small business, and looking forward to growing that business, I would have told you were crazy. But it's because of you guys and the support that you provided for me, my partner Jake, and the WeTrade HQ family. that we're all here. So I can't thank you enough, guys. I'm looking forward to 2019 and what we have been up to. I can't wait to share all that with you too. It's all going to come to you as soon as next week. If you guys love having low commission trades, we've partnered with a company that will be able to provide you with that. $295. How does that sound? So we will be revealing that to you next week. Also new mentors as well. I just can't wait. Can't wait to reveal that all to you next week and into the 2019 year. So thank you guys so much. Hit the like button. I will see you all tomorrow. Actually, before the bell. That's right? So anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Thank you. I will see you all tomorrow. And then if I don't see you tomorrow, have a happy new year. Please stay safe out there. Don't drink and drive. Put those keys somewhere. If you're going to somebody's home or having a party, whatever, better yet, just stay home. Just watch the ball drop. Go to sleep. And, whatever. Enjoy the day on New Year's Day. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. I will see you all before the bell. And B. Smith is out. Have a good one, guys.